Hey guys, forgot to add this in at the start. I will be streaming live on YouTube and Twitch tonight at 4 p.m. US Central Time until 7 p.m. US Central Time. My Twitch channel is linked in the description down below, so please go down there and give it a follow. Hope to see you guys out on the stream tonight.
Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here. And today we are once again talking about Italian battleships and where they are exactly. Now, I did make a video on this topic roughly 4 months ago, but a lot more has happened since that video has been released. And I think we have a pretty good idea of what's going on with the Italian battleships. So the Italian battleships are a line that, in my opinion and in many others, is long overdue to be in the game. They would be one of the last lines that would be, last battleship lines at least, that would be actually one that existed. The only other one I can think of is if they do some like pan-Euro line or pan-South America line, because South American countries did have a fair few dreadnoughts and such early on in the 20th century, same with the Europeans, but you would have to probably make up from Tier 5 up with paper ships, which Wargame could totally do. I mean, the Soviet battleship line does exist. Well, exists in game, but didn't really exist in real life. But anyway, you guys get what I'm saying. It would be one of the last real steel lines, up to Tier 8, obviously. Tier 9 and Tier 10 would have to be paper, and I don't have too many issues with paper ships. You know, I think it's pretty cool that we have ships like the Grosser Kurre first and the Shikishima in game, which are derived from the H-44 design and the A-150 design, respectively. Although apparently Shikishima was another design for the Yami class, but A-150 just, I think more people know what I'm talking about if I say that rather than A-157 or whatever it was. You guys get what I'm saying. I think it's pretty cool that we can see those ships in game and interact with them, especially someone like me who grew up watching History Channel when it talked about crazy German super weapons during World War II rather than aliens and American pickers and Pawn Stars all the time. So I think it's pretty cool that we get to see those designs in game and interact with them and get an idea of what they would have been like if they really existed. So, you know, again, don't have much against paper ships, but when we just get spammed with paper ships over and over again, like we kind of have been the past 4 or 5 months, when there's real ships that they could still add to the game, you know, it gets a little old. But to Wargaming's credit, they have started to introduce more and more real ships. We just recently got the California, and we're getting the Oklahoma, and a good amount of the European or Swedish destroyer line did actually exist. So, you know, we have that going for us at least. Now, the Italians, what's going on with them? Okay, so many people expected the next line to be announced after the German carrier line would be the Italian battleship line. There were some rumors going around that, hey, you know, after the German CVs, we're going to get Italian battleships. It would make sense. We just got a cruiser line split with the Soviet cruisers. We got a destroyer line with the European DDs, and we got another carrier line with the German CVs. So it would be reasonable to believe that, you know, a battleship line would make sense, since, you know, we just got new lines of the 3 other classes in the game. And we did get a battleship line announcement, but it wasn't the Italians, it was the US Thick Boys that got announced, which, I mean, they're interesting. The Vermont's pretty much a floating island the size of Vermont, but yeah, more on those later. But anyway, so we got that announcement instead of the Italians, which left many people confused because it was a pretty popular rumor to the point of where many people believed it. So I was like, okay, so I guess that was wrong. Then Littorio happened. So the Littorio, for those of you that don't know, it's a ship that you can currently buy right now. It's an Azur Lane collaboration ship, though. Except it's not really a Littorio. What it really is, it's a Roma clone. Down to, if you take the Azur Lane camouflage off of the Littorio, the nameplate on the stern says Roma. Now, 9.7 did just drop yesterday, so they could have fixed it, but I didn't buy Littorio, so I can't really check, and nobody that I know bought Littorio, so I can't check. They may have fixed it, I don't know. Now, it's not the first time this has happened in the game that one ship that's supposed to be another ship has a different ship's name on it. It happened with the Ohio. When the Ohio first came out, there was nothing on the ship that said Ohio. There was no hull number. Ohio was not anywhere on the ship. On the catapult plane, though, it said USS Montana, because the Ohio is a Montana hull with 8 457mm guns. But that was fixed and I think like not that long after it got released. So there's a very good chance that the Roma nameplate on Littorio will disappear fairly soon if it hasn't already. So that happened. Now, it later came out that a test ship which was added like months ago called Impero, which was a Tier 8 Italian battleship with fuel smoke and sap, was supposed to be Littorio. But sap on battleship caliber guns was so ungodly overpowered that Wargaming couldn't make it work in time for the Azure Lane event. Now, that's pretty understandable. And if it wasn't a collaboration event, they could have just pulled Littorio from the lineup, but it was a collaboration event, and obviously Wargaming had to hold up their end of the deal by releasing Littorio. So apparently at the last minute, the call was made to swap out the Littorio with the Roma, well, the Impero with the Roma clone and call it Littorio, which overall I think for the game's health is the right call. Obviously, it would have been nice if they would have fixed the nameplate from saying Roma, but I'm not a 3D modeler. I don't work with the game's engine. I have no idea how hard or how easy that is. Some people have said it's kind of complicated to do. Some people have said it would have literally taken 2 minutes. I don't know. I haven't worked with the engine. I'm not a 3D graphics artist. I don't know. According to Wargaming, it was last minute and the change had to be made. Okay, so that's what Wargaming says. I'm sure they'll fix it, just like they did with the Ohio, because again, it's happened before with the Ohio and it was fixed. So that's what happened. Now, what's also very interesting is that if you do go back and look at the footage of Impero, which is on YouTube, which is almost nothing, by the way, there's actually no nameplate on Impero. There's none. The videos that you can find of it on YouTube are just people talking about it in port, because they all start with, hey, I can't show any gameplay, but we can look at it in port. And in port, there's no nameplate on the stern, and it looks just like a Roma. I think the camo is a little bit different, but it's just a Roma model. So, I mean, that's pretty much what Impero was. It's Roma with sap and fuel smoke. Now, again, think about that. Sap. Battleship caliber sap. Anyone who's played Venezia or anyone who has played against Venezia knows that, or heck, any of the Italian cruisers, you know that sap friggin' hurts. On cruiser caliber guns, with the Venezia, the Tier 10, it's not hard to get 15k to 20k salvos on battleships and cruisers if you hit them in the right spot, and you can do it fairly consistently, and obviously until that part of the ship is saturated, but it's not hard to do. Again, anyone who's played Venezia extensively or has played against it, you guys know this. Now, translate that ammunition type to 15-inch guns. You can see why it would be a bit of a problem, considering Venezia and Italian cruisers can absolutely remove destroyers from the game just with their cruiser caliber guns. Imagine a couple of 15-inch sap shells hitting a DD. It would just cease to exist. So, using that logic, you put 2 and 2 together, and also consider that the destroyer line has sap. The proposed destroyer line, from my understanding, the destroyers that we've seen so far from Wargaming, the proposed Italian destroyers, they have all had sap. All the cruisers have sap. The battleship line would stand to reason that they would have sap too, which again they were rumored to all have sap and fuel smoke. Put 2 and 2 and 2 together, you get 6. 6 being that sap on battleships is broken. The line's been postponed again. Because again, rumors circulated that they were working on it, that it was pretty close to release, and then nothing since then. So using deductive reasoning, we can deduce that the line's been postponed yet again because of the issues of balancing SAP around battleship caliber guns. So that's, if I had to put money on it, that's where I put money on it. That they were totally planning on releasing the Italian battleship line, or well, at the very least announcing it after the German CVs, but because of the testing with Impero, they realized that, yeah, it's going to take us a while to balance battleship caliber SAP. Now, I would very much like to see the Italian battleships get released with battleship caliber SAP. It's unique, a very, very, very unique part of the Italian battleship line. Because with only 2 ammunition types, there's only so many variations of that you can do. For example, the British battleships, they have very good HE, and they have a different type of AP. The Soviet battleships, they have their own unique, crazy characteristics around their AP. The Americans do too. So there's only so many variations you can do of each ammunition type till it gets a bit repetitive. But SAP is a new ammunition type. So, again, I would very much like to see the Italian battleships come out with SAP. And I would very much like them to be as balanced as they can be when they come out with SAP. So it's understandable why Wargaming would want to postpone announcing them, because anytime something gets announced, pressure starts building on, hey, come on, release this. We want it. Especially with something like the Italian battleships, which are highly in demand from, just go look on Reddit, go look on YouTube, on any thread talking about Italian battleships or whatever. Heck, go look at some of the comments on my American Thick Boys Battleship, whatever the video is called, the video where I cover the recently announced American battleship lines. But a good chunk of the comments are, oh, these are getting released, but Italian battleships aren't. Which, again, is justifiable, because that's what I thought when I first saw it too. I'm like, what the heck, why are these coming out? I thought we were going to get Italian battleships, because it's about time, in my opinion. So, yeah, it's totally understandable why Wargaming is doing this, especially after the Impero testing. So that's where they're at. They're still in designing hell. Again, I'd rather wait for them to come out properly and right, where, they don't have to release them, then nerf the ever-living crap out of them because of the SAP. So I'm willing to wait for them to be released as close to perfect as they can be. But again, I still would like to see them as soon as that could possibly be done. So that's where Italian battleships are at, in my opinion. Again, I'm not a CC. I don't get told anything from Wargaming. This is just my deductive reasoning. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. You agree with me? You disagree with me? Do you think they're even working on them? Do you think any of the rumors are true? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. We are on our way to 15,000 subscribers, and I cannot think he has enough for that. We are under 300 away from that goal. And remember, when we get to 15K, I'm doing another Tier 9 premium ship giveaway, so help us get there so we can get to that giveaway a bit faster. Guys, again, hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope to catch you guys in the next one.